You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Hello and welcome to a new edition of Shelby County Schools Report. We're coming to you from the studios of Germantown High School Television on the Germantown High School campus. I'm Sarah Mayers.
And I'm Deborah Noel. Each month we highlight various people, programs, and events making a difference in our school system. This month's teacher feature spotlights Grandview Heights teacher Ken Green, who uses music to engage students in science, math, history, and English.
Parents will want to stay tuned for today's SCS Focus. Executive Director Allison Long is joined by Shelby County Schools Optional Program Director Linda Sklar. They will discuss what opportunities are available to students enrolled in the programs.
Our School of the Month is recent Blue Ribbon School Award winner Jackson Elementary. Later we'll hear from Tennessee's Principal of the Year, and our Shelby County Schools calendar closes the show.
Just spend a few minutes watching Ken Green teach, and it becomes obvious that this is someone who loves what they do. I had a chance to visit the Grandview Heights Middle School music and media teacher and found out he is just as passionate about his students and their education.
What we're going to do is go over the lesson that you guys had last Tuesday before we left for the break.
Inside this classroom at Grandview Heights Middle School, it may not look like it, but musical magic is happening. Combining music and today's media, teacher Ken Green has created a class you won't find anywhere else in Shelby County.
Music and media is a class I've developed over several years of working here in Shelby County Schools. It's sort of a hybrid course combining the best of general music in terms of composition, performance, a lot of the literacy pieces, reading and writing music.
We do drumming exercises, we study rhythms and different patterns of music, we annotate forms, and we do kind of notations of music. It's really fun.
This class gives students a hands-on experience. In today's technology, like this iPad, they're able to express their vocal and musical performances.
You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station. Welcome to GHS-TV's live coverage of Election Night 2016. An historic presidential race. A battle for the Senate and House. Up-to-the-minute results. In-depth analysis. Insightful discussions. Profiles of the presidential nominees and running mates. And exclusive local reaction. This is Election Night 2016.
The race for the White House ends tonight. Who will America choose, Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton? Hello and welcome to GHS-TV's award-winning coverage of Election Night 2016. I'm your moderator, Sarah Mayers, coming to you live from the campus of Germantown High School. We'll be on air and online tonight until 10 p.m., bringing you results from all the night's major races, including the historic presidential race. We'll also pay attention to close U.S. Senate races, like the one in New Hampshire between Republican incumbent Kelly Ayotte and her challenger, Governor Maggie Hassan. In addition, we'll keep you updated on which candidates will represent Tennessee in the U.S. House of Representatives. But our coverage won't stop there. We're keeping our eye on both houses to see if Republicans can tighten their grip on Congress or if Democrats can make crucial gains. GHS-TV will also focus on the local elections that matter the most to you, our viewers. We'll check in with our political analysts, Rob Edwards and Stephanie Thomas, He'll break down the numbers for you and talk with area politicians and newsmakers. On top of all that, our student reporters will bring you stories from across Shelby County. Now, let's meet our anchors and catch our viewers up to speed with the latest results. Maggie Latham is covering the race everyone is talking about, the presidential race.
Hi, Sarah. Over the next 2 hours, I will keep you updated on the hottest races from this year's historic presidential election. Democrat Secretary of State Hillary Clinton makes history as the first female candidate on a major political party ballot. She's facing Republican billionaire Donald Trump, who, if elected, will be among a handful of presidents with no prior political experience. These two candidates have clashed this election season on a number of issues, including the economy, immigration, foreign policy, reproductive rights, and more. I am tracking the results of the tightest battleground states, including Florida, Ohio, Nevada, North Carolina, and Utah. With that being said, let's get to some results. Starting off in the toss-up state of Florida, CNN is reporting with 91% of the votes in that Hillary Clinton has 48% of the votes, while Donald Trump has 49% of the votes. This is an extremely close race, and its 29 electoral college votes are key for a candidate if they want to reach 270. Moving on to another toss-up state, North Carolina, CNN is reporting with 61% of the votes in. Hillary Clinton has 50% of the votes, while Donald Trump has 48% of the votes. This state went Democrat in the 2008 presidential election, but Republican in the 2012 presidential election, so it could go either way. Sarah, it's still too early to project the winner, but I'll be back shortly with more updates.
Maggie, it seems we've talked a lot about third-party candidates this election, and they've made quite an impact on the ballot.
You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station. Wake up, Germantown. It's 63 degrees outside on this Friday, September 30th. I'm Caleb Suggs. Here are your top stories this morning. World leaders gathered today at the funeral of Shimon Peres, the former Israeli prime minister. Peres passed away Wednesday at the age of 93.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Red Devil Postgame. I'm Kennedy Harris.
And I'm Maggie Latham. In this episode, we will focus on Germantown's recent win over the Collierville Dragons, and Germantown head coach Jason James will join us on set to talk about what went right. We have an exclusive interview with current Golden State Warriors guard and former Red Devil Ian Clark, whose GHS jersey was retired in a special ceremony. Finally, reporter Nia Foster brings us the latest on our hometown Grizzlies and Tigers, so be sure to stay tuned.
But first, after a surprise visit from one of the greatest basketball teams in the world, the Red Devils played a hard game against the Collierville Dragons. The game was tight until the final buzzer, eventually going into overtime. But Germantown managed to pull through to claim the win. Let's find out how they did it in this week's game highlights. When the game started, Germantown's offense came out hot, with center DeMarcus Mitchell scoring 7 of the Red Devils' 13 first-quarter points. Collierville responded with 11 points, showing the Red Devils that they came to compete. Germantown then responds with authority, going on a 6-0 run, including 2 dunks, one by Mark Johnson and another by DeMarcus Mitchell. This led to the Red Devils leading at halftime with a score of 25-17. After the break, both teams didn't come out the gate strong. Germantown got an extra 4 points, all by DeMarcus Mitchell, and Collierville began to come back, with the third quarter ending with a score of 29-25, Red Devils in the lead. The fourth quarter brought excitement back to the game. With Collierville quickly coming back and eventually taking the lead, it was unsure if the Red Devils would win.
I would think how words go straight up in a thin line, quick and harmless, and how terribly doing goes along the earth, clinging to it, so that after a while the two lines are too far apart for the same person to straddle from one to the other. And that sin and love and fear are just sounds that people who never sinned, nor loved, nor feared have for what they never had and cannot have, until they forget the words. William Faulkner, As I Lay Dying.
Memory believes before knowing remembers, believes longer than recollects, longer than knowing even wonders. Knows remembers believes a corridor in a big, long, garbled, cold, echoing building of dark red brick, soot-bleakened by more chimneys than its own. Set in a grassless, cinder-strewn packed compound surrounded by a smoking factory, pervious and enclosed by a 10-foot steel and wire fence, like a penitentiary or a zoo. Wherein random erratic surges, with sparrow-like child trembling, orphans in identical and uniform blue denim, in and out of remembering, but in knowing constant in the bleak wells. The bleak windows wherein rains soot from the yearly adjacent chimneys, streaked like black tears. William Faulkner, Light in August.
Some things you must always be unable to bear. Some things you must never stop refusing to bear. Injustice and outrage and dishonor and shame, no matter how young you are or how old you have got. Not for kudos and not for cash. Your picture in the paper, nor money in the back either. Just refuse to bear them. William Faulkner, Intruder in the Dust.
I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail. He is immortal, not because he alone among creatures has an inexhaustible voice, but because he has a soul, a spirit capable of compassion and sacrifice and endurance. The writer's duty is to write about these things. It is his privilege to help a man endure by lifting his heart, by reminding him of the courage and honor and hope and pride and compassion and pity and sacrifice which have been the glory of his past. The poet's voice need not merely be the record of man. It can be one of the props, the pillars to help him endure and prevail. Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of GHS-TV's award-winning talk show, Crosstalk. I'm your host, Sarah Mayers. Today we have a very special show for you. We've traveled down to Oxford, Mississippi to visit the home of one of the most gifted writers of the 20th century. Just 80 miles south of Memphis is Roanoke, William Faulkner's private home. Here he wrote some of his best short stories and novels that are still inspiring us today. Today we're going to take you on an inside look of Roanoke. So without further ado, let's begin our tour. William Faulkner purchased the primitive large Greek revival house in 1930. Tucked amidst 4 acres of cedar and hardwood trees, the house, originally known as Bailey Place, predates the Civil War. Faulkner later renamed the estate Roanoke. It served as the family's home until 1962, the year of Faulkner's death. The first room on our tour is the library. The library's walls originally featured wildlife murals painted by Miss Ellen Bailey. Faulkner whitewashed and plastered the walls. Faulkner's mother, Maud, created a portrait of him above the mantel and a portrait of Preacher Green Ligon. Faulkner built the plain white pine shelf complete with a locking compartment underneath to store a shotgun away from the children in the house. Faulkner wrote only in this room until he added an office in the rear of the house in 1950. Once Faulkner started writing in this office, he placed his typewriter on a small table given to him by his mother. He used this table for nearly all of his years at Roanoke. Here Faulkner stretched the plot outline of a fable on the wall using a plain graphite pencil and a red grease pencil.
You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station. Live from the Germantown Civic Club complex in the heart of Old Germantown, it's the largest arts and crafts festival in the Mid-South. Entertainment, food, unique events, games, rides, and all of this at the 45th Annual Germantown Festival.
and welcome to GHS-TV's live coverage of the 45th Annual Germantown Festival. I'm Sarah Mayers.
And I'm Dinah Mitchell. It's a gorgeous Sunday afternoon here at the Germantown Civic Club complex as we celebrate the festival's 45th birthday.
From humble beginnings on the side of Poplar Pike, it has grown into one of the Mid-South's largest festivals, hosting more than 400 local and regional artists and craftsmen. You can find just about anything here, from jewelry, pottery, and woodwork, to handcrafted garments, fabrics, and trendy accessories. And it all helps raise money and publicize local community groups and organizations for their work.
Every year, as many as 50,000 people come out to the festival. But if you can't make it, GHS-TV has your all-access pass. This year, we are marking 33 years of exclusive live coverage. Throughout the show, we will showcase what has made the Germantown Festival one of the best around and highlight our live coverage through the years.
Today's show will also feature more than 15 guests from around the area. We are excited to learn all about what their organizations have planned for their upcoming year. We also have 6 talented entertainers lined up to perform on our GHS-TV entertainment stage. And later on, we'll chat with each performer, so stay tuned.
But first, our team of field reporters are spread out across the grounds to give you a better look inside the Germantown Festival and show you just how much fun you could have in one afternoon here at the grounds. Let's see what they're working on for us.
Whether you are looking for new yard signs or Christmas decorations, there is something for everyone here at the Germantown Festival. I'm Dee Dee Noel, and I will be walking the grounds to find some of the most unique items you can buy.
I'm Adam Sapp. With more than 50,000 people expected over the 2-day festival, I'll be talking with local law enforcement about what they're doing to keep you safe.
With over a dozen food vendors, bring your appetite to the Germantown Festival. I'm Cassie Kimball, and I'm on the search to find the best treats for you and your family.
Did you know that the Mid-South is one of the most generous areas in the U.S.? I'm Alan Tony, and I'll introduce you to the many charities that benefit from the Germantown Festival.
What kid doesn't love good games and fun rides? I'm Scarlett Simpson, and I'm on the lookout for the most popular attractions and games at the Germantown Festival. I may even win a fish.
Thanks, guys. We look forward to seeing and hearing about everything you found.
As we mentioned, today's show will feature live musical performances throughout the afternoon from our entertainment stage located on the festival grounds. In honor of the festival's 45th anniversary, many of our entertainers are Germantown High School alumni. We are excited to welcome our first alum to the stage, singing Etta James' classic song, At Last. Here is Amy Gunnell.
Welcome to this edition of Access Together. These shows are made possible through the combined efforts of Shelby County Schools and GHS-TV. The shows are hosted by the members of the community and utilize the staff and facilities of Germantown High School. If you would like to watch our live stream or get more information about these shows, log on to our website, ghstv.org. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the following presentation.
If you want to slap someone on stage, you've got to make it look real.
His eyes follow, so we're following the trajectory.
That's what Germantown theater students learned during a week-long workshop with stage fighting professional Kara Rawlings.
The core word of acting is action. Stage combat is the ultimate expression of physical action and physical acting.
Many people believe that stage combat is another form of fighting, but there's more to it.
Is to find the paraphrase so that you really understand the meaning.
The main thing that I focus on as a fight director is the story.
It really helps me connect with whoever it is that I'm working in. And maybe it's not just one partner, maybe it's a whole group fight. You can relate to those actors that are performing with you a whole lot better. You know, it's a whole different level of intimacy.
The workshop that I took in high school was a pivotal moment for me in my life.
That workshop was led by professional movement coach David Leong, whose credits include Billy Elliot and Carousel.
It was around 2000 that that I was thinking about graduate schools, and I thought, I wonder what David Leong's doing now. So I looked him up. I found that he was chair of the program at Virginia Commonwealth University, and that led me to contact him and say, tell me about your program.
Now it's Rawlings' turn to teach students her craft.
To learn more concept of acting and just theater in general is something I would love to do.
And the most important lesson in stage combat fighting?
Eye contact, look at the target, cue down, bam.
Trust.
Thank you so much for coming, and we have a very exciting afternoon for you. We are going to induct our new class of NHS members, and we are going to distribute